slide. 1 second. So can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So it's being recorded, so we can go further. Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Parama Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Sarva Gurubhyo Namaha, Shri Varadarya Namaha Gurubhyo Namaha, Sarvam Shri Krishna Namaste. So here we will take up this shloka, Dharmo Nirdharma Kaschet Kathamiva Bhavita Sobhi Lapadi Yogyaha Dharmena Anyena Yoge Sacha Bhavati Tatha It Avyavastheti Chenna. Then the shloka continues, Kaschit Dharmopi Dharmi Sputamati Mathane Swanya Nirvaha Katvam Tanishkasha Prayogeshvapi Bhavati Punastasya Dharmi Visheshaha. See, this is about Dharma Dharmi Bhava. That's what is the subject here. And the idea is this is important for us to understand because the Purva Paksha is Buddhist here, particularly Yogachara kind of school, actually, according to me. There, what they say is Dharma Dharmi Bhava should not be accepted because there is only dharmas. Okay, here I want to ask you a question. Why are we so interested in this Dharma Dharmi Bhava? What is the view of Buddhist here in regarding Dharma Dharmi Bhava? Can anybody answer this? What is the view of Buddhist? Why are we going after them?
They say dharmi doesn't exist, only dharma is there.
Dharma exists. Dharmi is the object, right? The object does not exist, only the dharmas exist. So what is why is a Buddhist so intent on establishing the fact that the dharmi does not exist? What is their problem? Can anybody say? They're saying the objects don't exist, only the experiences, the feeling, the experience, the dharmas are all what they call as phenomenon. Phenomenon means phenomena is experience. So they say experience exists, the object does not exist. What is the problem if they accept object exists? That is what I'm asking.
So the phenomena, phenomena will change every second or every moment. But if once they accept that there is a substance, then it is like they're accepting that there is something which doesn't change.
So what?
So in that case, their whole theory will go wrong. It will be refuted.
No, why are they holding on to the theory?
Because they don't
That's why they call
God.
Shunyavadis and but I don't know why I don't know much about Buddhism other than the fact that
anybody else, can you tell me why are they holding to that theory?
Because they don't believe in a God. Maybe that is the reason. Because they don't believe in a Swarga or anything.
Okay, so anybody else?
Hello.
I want to understand what is the problem if they believe in a God?
The whole world is illusory for them, actually. Or the objects are illusory, and every moment.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Hello. Dharmiya Uttindaka Atma Irkund.
Okay, so suppose you have to accept it. What is the problem if somebody accepts Atma exists?
Yeah, even the Charvakas accept that Atmas exist, Sharirame Atma, so but that's fine. And they have no problem. Everything is real for them, and but this is all everything that you see only exists. So which
No,
yeah, so I have no idea why
Charvaka. No, Charvaka is a realist at the end of the day. At the end of the day, he is a realist, right? So but here the Buddhists, they don't want to accept Atma. So what is the problem if they accept Atma? Why are they struggling for this issue so much?
Excuse me. In our realization, like they have not gone up to the Atma. They have gone up to Shunya state.
See, that is only.
They have not experienced.
No, that is only our view of their view. That is the view of the other systems about Buddhism. But Buddhism themselves have a problem accepting Atma. What is that problem? What happens if they accept Atma? What will they lose?
what is their base philosophy? That itself I don't know. So it's not.
Okay. I was just making sure we are understanding the context of what Sri Vedanta Deshikar is building here, right? Because otherwise, if we don't understand the context, we don't feel the reality of this philosophy. We don't understand why are they arguing for no reason at all. We'll always be thinking about it. So let me explain to you what I understand. I understand very little, but whatever I understand, I'm telling you. See, I told long time back, whether in this class or some other class, right? How long will a lamp, Deepa, right? Deepa lamp burn? Valak. How long will that valak burn? How long will the flame last?
As long as the oil is there.
Correct. So if the oil is not there, there is no, the flame will go away.
Yes.
So what the Buddhists are saying is, if you hold on to something constant, like a constant object, dharmi, you will get the feeling of something is constant, and that is, you will feel me and mine. Oh, I am constant. I am a jivatma. I am not, what do you call, going to perish. If you think like that, oh, I'm going to hold on to myself. If you hold on to yourself, I want to make sure everything is good for me. So the question of me and mine, aham, mamakara, aham bhava, the ego will start building. If you start building the ego, you will never get realization. That is their fundamental idea behind not accepting objects. So they want to be more free, not hold on to anything. Because holding on is a cause of, what is the cause of? What does it cost? If there is anything to hold on, what does it create?
Ego.
Huh?
Suffering.
Ego.
Suffering. Ego is one thing. Ego is the first level. But because of ego, you will have suffering. Because ego will force you to say, me and mine, you have to, oh my God, somebody took mine away. I have to kill him. I have to get rid of this guy. All these ups and downs, everything caused because of the me and mama, aham mamakara buddhi. So they want to go and cut that away right at the root. So they have a very powerful philosophical argument against not accepting their me. So, but what we are saying is that doesn't seem to be real. You can think what you want, but there is a question of a continuous nitya vastu right within us. And that cannot be denied because that is the truth. That is Satya. So we are arguing from the Satya point of view. They are arguing it does not matter. Whether Satya or Asatya does not matter. What matters is I have to get rid of sorrow. If I have to get rid of sorrow, I have to get rid of ego. For that, I have to completely deny Atman. So this is their view. Whether Buddha himself had this view or not is unknown, because we only know what he taught his students, and 100 years later or something, they put all the teachings inside 3 baskets and they called it Tripitaka. And that Tripitaka became the source code or the source scriptures for the Buddhists. So we only know some view of the source information. We don't have very good idea, because it started developing Dingnaga. So many people, Vasubandhu, Dingnaga, Kamalashila, Shantarakshita. There's so many different authors. They started developing this idea in an intellectual manner. So that is why we don't know, as we can only put Buddhism in a particular time frame and say this is Yogacara school, this is Vaibhashika school, this is that school, this is Mahayana school. But we just say, we just have to stick to the ideology and principles of that school at that particular point or something like that, and then try to discuss how it applies to our life. So this is the introduction to this Dharma Dharmi Bhava. Hope this is of some use to get the concepts right.
Yes.
Now we will go to the shloka and read the Sarvankasha. Nanu sahopalambha niyamad abhedo nilatadhiyoho iti bauddha bhikshor vakyanukaranam etat. So there is something called Pramana Vartika. See, I forgot to find out what this Pramana Vartika is. Who wrote Pramana Vartika? I'm not sure. Let me, oops. So here, Pramana Vartika. Pramana Vartika is, if I remember it, influential Buddhist text. Okay, just a second. You are seeing my screen. I hope it's too slow today. I want to understand who this Pramana Vartika guy is. That is the guy who wrote. Wow. Google is so slow today. Maybe because I'm using Zoom. No idea. It is or the book Buddhist Dharma Kirti. So this is Pramana Vartika is written by a guy called Dharma Kirti. We can find out later. It's not very important, but definitely it is a Buddhist work, Pramana Vartika. So he says, Sahopalambani Yama Dabhedo Nila Tadhiyoho. Neela means what? Black or blue, whatever that color is. Tat Diyoho means you have the conception of Neela or blueness. So blue and blueness are always together. Saha Upalamba. It is understood, it is realized together always. So whenever something is realized together, it is Abheda, it is one. There is no two there. That is the Buddha Bhikshor Vakyanukarana method. So the Dharma Kirti writes like that. Astu, let it be so. Shabdaha kim tasyaiva swabhutaha tahopalambha niyamada vedo nilatadyoho ityapi patyatam. So the thing is, why don't we say we are all referring to objects using the word as a shabda, right? The words we say Nila is shabda. And that shabda is indicating the meaning, right? That is, this is a similar view, right? Vagartapiva samprakto vagarta pratipadaye jagatah pitarau vande parvati parameshwarau. This is Kalidasa's famous introduction to one of his, whatever work he has done. Vak artha. Vak is speech. Artha is meaning. They are always together, right? Vagartaviva samprakta means they are attached together always. That is speech and meaning. Similarly, Sahopalambhaniyamat abhedo nila shabdayoho. Nila and shabda. That is the word Nila, and that whatever it refers to, that is the color. They're always connected. So that is abheda, means you can say you cannot separate one from the other, so it is the same. You can also say this, Nilaha arthaha. Arthaha is the object. Evancha jnana arthayoriva arthashabdayor abhedavadaha sahopalambaniyama moola eva. So some people think the meaning and the object, jnana artha, that is the conception of an object, and that object is artha, means object. So some blue object, like blue pot or whatever it is. So the conception and the object are the same. We can say that because mentally you conceive of a thing and then say, your mind is the cause, right? Your mind sees a blue pot. For example, just whatever pot we will just take, our mind sees this red pot or something, right? So it doesn't matter whether the object exists or not. The conception is the issue. The conception is, oh, I have in my mind a concept, which is a real thing, according to me, that it is a pot. So it's a mental feeling. Similarly, artha shabdayor abhedavadaha, object and the words are same. Some people think that that is also a way of looking at the universe. Evam gunaguninorapi abhedavade sahopalamba eva hetuho. Similarly, here object and the attributes, substance and the attributes, if you think that they are the same, this is all stemming out of the idea of the sahopalamba. That means they have perceived, the object and its attributes are perceived at the same time, always. So you have to not discriminate between them, that is the same as one is the same as the other. Siddhi kila sthiti pratipatisya evameva jiva brahmanorapi avina bhavasya amshamshi bhava mulakasya tatvat tatrapi sahopalamba niyamad abhedaha parajivayo ityapi patyatam. Okay, I'll ask you a question. Can Jivatma be conceived without Paramatma? Question for all of you. In our Siddhanta, it may be even Madhva Siddhanta, it doesn't matter. Can you conceive, can you understand, can you perceive, can you feel a Jivatma purely without Paramatma?
No.
Why not in Kaivalya?
Even there he is antarvyapti and bahirvyapti, and without Paramatma, Jivatma cannot exist.
Correct. That is, there is antaryami there. Even in Kaivalya, he may not choose to have any feeling of Brahman, but he is powered by inside, powered within by Brahman. So, Jiva can never be understood or perceived without Parabrahman. So why don't we say Sahopalimbaniyamad Avedaha Parajivayoho? Let us understand Jiva and Paramatma as same, because they are never perceived separately from each other at any point. So why don't we agree with Abheda? Jivatma is same as Paramatma, because they are always perceived together. You cannot separate them out. So this is the ideology behind all these things. Sri K.S.V. Swami has gone deeper and deeper and tried to understand what is the problem we're trying to understand. Athava sahopalambaniyamad abhedo ayuta siddhayoho. What ayuta siddha means? They are valid as long as each one is valid. Sharira shariri bhava is ayuta siddha. That means the body and the jivatma are valid as long as each are valid. That means body is a body as long as jivatma is there within it. Otherwise, the body becomes a dead body, and dead body is not known as body at all. So, jivatma, paramatma are ayuta siddha. They are always together, and they are never pratak siddha. They are never known separately from each other. So we can understand this ideology behind it in these ways. Parikshakanam, Matibheda Mulaka, Matabheda Karaneshu, Avinabhava Kritaha, Sahopalambilimaha Pradhanam Nidanam. So the main idea here is the Mathibheda is coming, or Matabheda, or the difference in philosophies, difference in viewpoints are coming because of the ideology, because of the intelligence, that if something is abhinabhava, that means one does not exist without the other, we can understand that they are abheda, they are same. This is the main reason, cause behind all the shlokas, particularly the shloka. Parantu sahatvasya bheda garbhatvat na sahopalambha niyamad abheda siddhi pratyasha. Whenever you say saha, something is with something. Can there be abheda? Because there is a bheda. Because that is why you are saying something is with something. If there are no two things, how can there be sahatva? How can there be togetherness? So the moment you talk about a togetherness, there has to be a bheda. That is what the next sentence is saying. Nanu yadi sharira sharirenoho avinabhavaha tarhi nilogataha iti vriti jiva sharirayorapi samanadhikaranya pratitihi syatiti चेत न इति का आहा अहम मनुष्यः इत्यादि सामान्याधिकरण्य प्रतीतिः अस्त्येव किल ननु नन्वियम् औपचारिकी प्रतीतिरिति चेत् विचार्यते एतत् जीवसरे. Here he just opens up a question but does not answer here. He says this answer to this is in the Jivasara. So what is the question? See, bheda can be also understood where something is together. Sharira Shariri. The Sharira Shariri, we say, they are abhinabhava. That is, one does not exist without the other. That means the Shariri can be real and nitya. That is, Jivatma can be nitya. But the Sharira Shariri bhava cannot be said to it unless there is a Sharira. And only when they're together, we are talking about a concept called Sharira Shariri Bhava. If they're separate, we don't talk about it. Similarly, Nilo Gataha, that means blue pot. Itivate, Jiva Sharirayorapi Samanadhikaranya Pratitihi. Oh, here comes Rama, here comes Devadatta, we say. So we are looking at the Sharira and then we are referring to the Jiva. So they are all Samanadhikaranya. The Samanadhikaranya, we don't have to go into details, that becomes another story. They are denoted in the same sentence with an attribute. Right? One is an attribute, one is a dharmi. So why don't we say aham manushyaha? We have the feeling of aham manushyaha, I am a man, I am a person, I am a human being. Then we are nanu iyam aupachariki pratitihi iti chet vicharyate jivasare. See, is that possible to say I am Manushyaha? Because I is a separate thing. Manushyaha is Deha Dharma. I is the Jiva Dharma. Aham is the I refers to the Jivatma. Because I feel my awareness. Well, and then suddenly I am saying Manushyaha, that means that is related to the body because the human form is the body actually. So does it mean any sense? How can I say one Dharma and refer to something else? So this particular issue will be dealt with in detail in the Jivasara. We don't have to take it up right now. Nanu yadi jiva parayoho avinabhavaha tarhi ahamiti swopalambe paropi bhayaditi chete ayeva maha na bhati iti. Okay. So the thing is, suppose I say aham, I am this person. If Jiva and Paramatma are always together, why am I not feeling the Parabrahman within? If I say I am sick, I am unhappy, I am worried, all those things, we say that. But at that time, do you realize the Parabrahman sitting inside you? No. No. The other person is, why do you say no? There are situations like how the Upanishad says, Aham Brahmasmi. It says, iti upalamba eva pramanam. So clearly, there is a possibility that you can realize Parabrahman within, because the Upanishad says so. Aham Brahmasmi iti anubhava bhavati. It is possible that one gets the feeling that he is Brahman. Kadal Jnanam Pasharam is an example. Aham Manurabhavam Suryascha. That is an example. Atayeva Aham Brahmasmi Tyanubhava Asminneva Mate Swarasataha Sharira Shariri Bhavakritaha Sangachate Natu Swarupaikyavadi Mate. Here it's an important point he's bringing. How do you say Aham Brahmasmi in Advaita? Aham refers to consciousness, and that consciousness is the body, mind, intellect. The complex of body, mind, intellect, and Brahman is actually different. Brahman is different. Brahman is Atman, who has no restrictions of body. In fact, from the Brahman's point of view, the body, mind, intellect does not exist. So Aham there is different. Aham is a antahkaranavachina Chaitanya, you can say. Aham Brahma Asmi for them. Because that Aham does not exist, their Aham and Brahman are not at the same level of reality. Because from the Brahman's point of view, Aham does not exist. How can one be the same? Sarupaikyavada. Because there is that I, he cannot say I am feeling that I am Brahman, because that I should be separate from Brahman to have the feeling that I am Brahman. Otherwise, Brahma is the only thing existing, then I will not exist. That Aham Pratyaya cannot be used in the statement. That Aham doesn't exist. Only I can't even say Asmi. Asmi means I am. That I have, all I have to say Brahma, Brahma, Brahma. I cannot say about that Aham and Asmi, because that I feeling, the individuality does not exist there. But in the Sharira Shariri Bhava view, Asminneva Mate, Swarasataha, only because Jivatma and Paramatma are related in a Sharira Shariri Bhava, that I can say I am the Sharira, but I am Brahman, because Brahman is the power which is keeping the Sharira alive, and everything, the Jivatma's very existence, the nature, the features, the attributes, the activities, the very existence, everything is powered by Brahman. So I am Brahman is possible because there are two things and we can relate each other as they are similar in nature. Brahmatva or something is similar in nature. So that is possible. Adhikantu Paschat, we will discuss this. It is not such an easy concept that we can win over in one sentence that, oh, our Sri Vishishtadvaita Mata is very good. Because Advaita Mata will come and ask a lot of questions about your viewpoint. We will talk about it later. Paschat. Nilaha iti pratitau nailyame vishayaha natu dravyam iti vaibhashikaha. Vaibhashika say it seems. Nila means the blueness is the what we are considering right now, not the object. The dravya is not at all considered. All you say is a blue. You saw blue thing, okay, blue, that's it. Don't talk about the object. Dravyameva bhasate na gunaha iti sankhya. Sankhya people think only dravya is there. Guna does not show. So this is something similar to Advaita. Advaita says, what do you call, gunas are not there, gunas are unreal. Dravya is the only thing which is real. And there is only one dravya. Nailya vishishtam dravyam bhasate iti itare. Some people think that the object associated with attributes of Nilatva or blackness or blueness, the object with a blue attribute is visible. That's what some people, other people say. Etat sarvatrapi guna-guninoho avinabhava eva moolam. In all these views, the guna and guni are there connected with each other. Without each other, the other does not exist. A blue pot exists. The blueness also is at the same time, pot is also at the same time. They are connected together. Evameva jiva paramatmanoh api avinabhavat bheda bhedadivadaha samvrittaha. So why are we talking about this philosophy here? Because Jiva and Paramatmas are always associated with each other. Bheda bhedadivadaha, whether they are one or the same, whether they're different, whether they're different or the same, all these logic and all these arguments are coming up because they are together all the time. Jiva Paramatmanoha api avinabhavat, one doesn't exist without the other. We can ask, is Paramatma dependent on Jivatma for his existence? It is not, you should not take it that way. He is capable of living with or without any attributes. But because of Shastra and because of the experience of the yogis and things, they are always together. That's how we are. Kincha yatra sahaiva upalambaha tatra avinabhavaha ityeva vyaptihi na tu yatra avinabhavaha tatra sahopalambaha iti. Wherever there is a perception of something which are together, that is Jiva and Paramatma are always together, and we experience it in a way, or a blue pot where blueness and pot are experienced together. So whenever there are two things are experienced together, they don't exist without each other. We can say it as a rule. Nato yatra avinabhavaha tatra sahopalambaha. Don't say the reverse. But wherever there is something, there is a relationship of one does not exist without the other, then you can say sahopalambaha. Then they are always experienced together. We don't say that. Samagri samarthyadhinatvad upalambhasya. So the thing is, each of the object has different capabilities. So perception of Paramatma and Jivatma may not occur at the same time because they have different capabilities and features. Gurutwadikam tu na kadapi dravyena saha upalabhyate. You cannot know the weight of a pot just because you see a pot. Even though they are together, you don't experience it. Because if you are seeing a pot, you don't know the weight. Evam chakshusha gatati grahane rasadikam tena nahi grhyeta. So when you see a ghata, the rasa or the taste of the ghata is not understood. Ato na ukta apatihi. So the thing is, this is more about the sahopalamba issue. Evancha avinabhavastale sarvatrapi evam vivadaha sahaja eva. Tarhi nirnayaha kaha iti chete. How do we determine the situation or reality here when something is always together? Dvayos satve khalva vinabhavaha. Only if there are two objects, then you can say one does not exist without the other. Ato avinabhavaha eva bheda sahopalambam cha pradarshayishyati siddha eva nirnayaha. So the very fact that something exists always together, avinabhava, that itself says there is bheda. That means there is difference between object and its attributes. So nirnayaha siddha means we already got what we wanted. We wanted difference between attributes and objects, and that is very simple in our logic. Vacho viglapanam eva itarat sarvam. All other talk is just talk. All other views, matas, are just talk. Atayeva vayam bheda bhedavadinaha. We are bheda bhedavadins. Etadeva manasi nidhaya samanvayadhikarane Bhagavad Bhashyakarihi Vistarena Dushi Bheda Bhedavadaha. So even if we say we are Bheda Bhedavadinaha, Samanvayadhikarana in Sri Bhashya, Bhagavad Bhashyakara Ramanujacharya in detail attacks Bheda Bhedavada. He does not agree Bheda Bhedavada because Bheda Bhedavada involves a few other views. A view of Yadava Prakasha and also a view of Bhaskara. Okay, Bhaskara and Yadava Prakasha belong to Bheda Bhedavada. So he attacks those views there. Etena, Etat Siddhanta Sukshma Swarupa Sukshma Swarupa Parijnana Moolameva Paraspara Viruddha Bedadi Pakshatraya Kakshikarena Shapanaka Paksha Nikshiptam iti Sarvadarshana Sangrahakarasya Shabdhalankara Vachanam Alankara Matramantavyam. This is a very important point for people who want to understand how a opponent views Vishishtadvaitam. Who is the opponent here? Who is the writer, author of this Sarvadarshana Sangraha? Anybody? Sarvadarshana Sangraha is a book, a work, Grantha, written by who?
Madhvacharya.
No.
No.
Anybody else?
I kind of came across it some time back, but I forgot.
Very famous work. This Sarvadarshana Sangraha is a very famous work. It explains all the darshanas in a very simple way, very powerful way. The author is an excellent, very well-known person. He is no other than Vidyaranya, who was a sort of colleague, he a co-eval to Vedanta Deshikar. Vedanta Deshikar existed in the same time. Maybe Vedanta Deshikar Swami was older than Vidyaranya. Vidyaranya wrote many of his books after the life of Vedanta Deshikar, maybe. Okay, but they knew each other. And as we know that Vairagya Shataka was written by Vedanta Deshika when they both communicated with each other. Vidyaranya Swami wanted to help Vedanta Deshika that why are you suffering without money? Come here to the kingdom. I will help you with the
Vairagyam part.
Hello?
Mami was trying to say Vairagya Panchagam.
Vairagya Panchagam. Sorry, Vairagya Panchagam. Yeah, so we know what this particular sentence is saying is this the Bheda. See, many people don't understand Ramanujacharya's position properly. Is he a Bhedavadavadin? Then if he is Bhedavadin, see, he is not completely Abheda, not completely Bheda. This is also very clear. Where is it clear in Vedartha Sangraha? There the question comes. So is our Siddhanta Bheda or Abheda or Bheda? He himself questions himself. He says, I am all of them. I am also Bhedavadin. I am also Abhedavadin. I am also Bhedavadin. He says that in the Vedartha Sangraha. That is the case. So Ramanujacharya himself, he accepts three possibilities. If that is the case, how can other Siddhantins understand our Siddhanta properly, and how can we ourselves understand Siddhanta? Because Ramanujacharya, in one way, he attacks Bhedavada in the Sri Bhashya. He says that we are not Bhedavadins. And he himself says in Vedartha Sangraha, we are Bhedavadins. Wow, this is complex. It's easy to understand Advaita. It's easy to understand Dvaita because they are very clear. Dvaita means there is no mixing of Jiva, Jada, Paramatma in any way. They are not related in the sense that they are only separate entities. And Brahman is only Nimitta Karana. He just puts these people, the things together. I have a very bad analogy here. It is like Brahman is doing vadas. He puts some nuts inside the in the marble, and he puts it in the boiling pan where the oil is boiled, and he makes vadas out of it. That means Brahman is putting the jiva, which is like a nut, inside the mav or that floor, which is like the body. And then he is putting them together and putting it into the samsara where we are all, suffering. I just give a bad analogy like this, just to make a concept that Paramatma here is only Nimitta Karana. And then he is just adjusting, he is putting Prakriti and the Jivatmas together and making them having body so that they can experience the universe. So there is clear separation in the Madhva Sampradaya. In Advaita Sampradaya, there is only one and consciousness only, and there is nothing else. So there, the question of Upadana itself is a different question. That is, he is the Upadana Karana because the Brahman, the world illusion, the world illusion is only possible if there is a substratum. Substratum is that Nirguna Brahman, where the imaginary their imaginary jivas and imaginary universe, all the interactions are all in a way imaginary. They are not at the same level. Brahman is Nirguna, Nirvikara and all. So that is a separate view. Jiva, so Dvaita and Advaita are very clearly definable. Vishishta Advaita is very difficult to understand because what kind of Bheda is Ramanujacharya's view when he condemns Bheda-Bhedavadins like Bhaskara and Yadava? So, in the Sarvadarsana Sangraha, what happens is Paraspara Viruddha Bhedadi Pakshatraya Kakshi-karena. So the thing is Kshapanaka Paksha Nikshiptam. So the thing is, Sarvadarshana Sangraha categorizes, classifies Vishishtadvaita under the Jaina Mata. What they say is, Kshapanaka is like a bhikshu. Kshapanaka Paksha is Jaina Mata. So the Sarvadarshana Sangraha of Vidyaranya classifies Ramanujacharya's Vishishtadvaita as not a Vedantic view at all. It classifies it as a Avaidika Mata, not even Vaidika Mata. It classifies under the Jaina Mata. And what is the significant feature of a Jaina Mata? Anybody?
Anekantavada.
Exactly. Anekantavada. What does Anekantavada mean?
There are many souls, like all are different.
No. Anekantavada means you can have different solutions. So any object is not determinable in a single way. So the thing is, there are sevenfold logic. See, we have to understand what is Anekantavada because many people confuse Ramanuja Mata to the Anekantavada. They think that Ramanuja Mata is same as the Jain view. The Jain view has to be understood. Next time I'm going to explain to you what the Anekantavada is in detail because 10 minutes is not sufficient to explain Anekantavada properly. But just as an introduction, what we can say is all possibilities are okay. At the same time, Brahman is same as Jiva. At the same time, Brahman is different from Jiva. At the same time, Brahman is same and different from Jiva. All these possibilities are possible according to Anekantavada. How can this is how can such a thing is possible? One person can refer back to Ramanujacharya's own words. Vedova, Bhedova, Koyamartha Samartitaha. In that particular sentence of Vedartha Sangraha, Ramanujacharya himself says, I am a Bhedavadi, I am a Bhedavadi, and I am a Bhedavadi. He says. If that is the case, at the same time, if all these things are true, then it becomes Jaina Mata. At the same time, if you accept Bheda, Abheda, and Bheda, you are accepting Jaina Mata simply because there The sevenfold logic is there. Saptabhangi Nyaya, or what is that? Syadvada. It is known as Syadvada. Syat means it is possible. What is possible? Is possible. Is not is possible. Maybe is possible. Maybe not is possible. Then again you combine is and maybe. Is and maybe not. So you will get 7 options. All these things are possible for what do you call in the Jaina Mata. And why don't you assume that, or why don't you accept that Ramanuja Mata is only Jaina Mata? A great person, Vidyaranya, who is a fantastic thinker, who is almost, he was communicating with Vedanta Deshikar, and he was held in high esteem from even today. Many acharyas and many Advaitins hold him in great respect. Such a person got deluded. Such a person got confused about Ramanuja Mata, and he classified it as Jaina Mata. Such an awkward situation. But that is not true. Sarvadarshana Sangrahakarasya Shabdalankara Vachanam Alankara Matramantavyam. It is only what we call nice way of talking, but there is no truth there. Sarvairapi Vivekibhi Pramanika Vyavaharanam Avashya Nirvahyatve Shastra Pratitam Ajahatam Koparadho Atiriktaha Iti Nayakasaraha. See, we don't want to go into the Nayakasara. So the thing is, all we can say is Adhikam Tatraiva Drashtavyam. We have to look into the details in the Nayakasara Shloka 27. Then only we will understand. So what we can do is we can stop it here, because it will start a bigger thing here. Evam Vishesha Bhav Bodha Apadita Dharma iti. Then now all we have done is we have given introduction to this Dharma, this Shloka. Dharmo Nirdharma Kaschete Katameva Bhavita Sopilapadi Yogyaha. This is the shloka. All we have done today is give introduction to this. And then only
Krishna, you can go longer, that other class is not there. It depends on whether you have the time or if others have the time.
I can go a little bit. I can go a little bit and see where we are going. Yeah, a little bit further we can go, no problem. Okay. Evam Visheshana Visheshya Bhavadau Bauddhaihi Apaditam Anyamapi Anupapattim Anudya Pariharati. So Visheshana Visheshya Bhava is attacked heavily by Buddhists. And this introduction given today was only to give the context of what is this Dharma Dharma Bhava and why is it important for us to establish it properly, and even for us to say what exactly is our Paksha. It is not Dvaita. If you say Dvaita, many Sri Vaishnavas seem to be very happy with the idea that we are Dvaitins, because they don't understand the Upadana Karanatva. They don't really give value to the Upadana Karanatva. That is not the truth. What Sri K.S.V. Swami is trying to say here, and particularly what Vedanta Deshikar also is saying, is we have a distinct view separate from Dvaitins and separate from Advaitins, and we are going to establish it properly. This is why this is very important for true seekers to understand the true value of, true idea behind Vishishtadvaita. Here, Dharma Ityadina. Prathamam, one second, what is the chat? Is called Madhvacharya, and that is same by which the book can be downloaded. Yeah, Madhvacharya. Madhvacharya is correct. He's actually Sayana Madhava. That's what it is. One second. What happened?
Sayana is Madhava's brother.
Sayana is Madhava's brother. So they're brothers. Yes, true. Okay, here. What happened? Something happened. Sharing the screen. Okay, here. So, Evam Vishesha finished. Prathamam Dharma Ityadina Prathamam Tan Matam Anuvadati Uttarardhena Cha Tan Nirakaroti. So the thing is, first we are trying to understand what this Buddhists think about dharma dharmi bhava. Savisheshavadasya dharma dharmi bhave paryavasanat. Because our savishesha is very important for us. Why? Brahman is not nirvishesha. Brahman is not attributeless. So the savisheshavada has to be established. And for that, we need dharma dharmi bhava clearly. We have to have an object and we have to have attributes. These are similar ideologies. Savisheshavadasya dharma dharmi bhave paryavasanat. That is why we are struggling and we have to establish this dharma dharmi bhava. Dharma dharmi bhavam eva dushyanti bauddhaha. They attack dharma dharmi bhava. Tad anukarinascha. There are many people who support Buddhists. Ghatavatu bhutalam ityadi vyavahare ghatabhutalayoho visheshana visheshya bhavasya darshanepi apratak siddhastale savaktum na shakyate matu pratyaya abhavat. So, thing is here, just if you think about what it is, here, see here, gata, nilo gataha, rakto gataha, rakta means red, rakto gataha, red pot, we can say, right? Say, we can also say this floor has an attribute. What is the attribute? The floor has the pot. So the floor has the pot standing on it. So this pot can become the attribute of floor. But here it is not an avinabhava sambandha. Avinabhava sambandha means it's not one without the other. You can take this pot away and the floor still exists. So they can be separated. So the attributes here are separable attributes. Here the redness and the pot are not separable. If you have to separate them, you will break the pot. The pot will go away. Atascha पृथक सिद्ध विशेषण स्थल न्यायः अपृथक सिद्ध स्थलेन वक्तुं शक्यः. So whatever applies to prathak siddha, that is that which are separable attributes, and what applies to the inseparable attributes case, they are separate. Then the rules are separate. Atascha nilo gataha ityadau ubhayor abheda eva nyayah. So in the blue pot, it is abheda. Ubayoha abheda eva nyayah. So both are. So whenever they are always together, you can say blue and pot are the same. Abheda. Anyata hi nila padartaha savisheshanakaha iti nirvisheshanakaha iti vikalpe. So if suppose you say nila or the nilatva is separate from the pot, the blueness is separate from the pot, then you have to come out and say, what is the nature of nila? So is nila attribute, does nila or the blueness has attributes, or it does not have any attributes? If it does not have any attributes, adhye tad visheshanam savisheshanakam uta nirvisheshanakam. Adhye means, first let us say, is that blueness, does it have attributes or no? Uta iti vikalpe adya pakshe anavastaya durvaratvat. So if you assume blueness has some other attributes, then again you will ask the same question. Those attributes, do they have attributes or not? If you accept they have attributes, again you will go into the endless cycle there. Ad infinitum or something, right? They call it ad infinitum. So anavastha dosha. So there is no clarity. It just goes on and on and on and on and on. That means that is correct. No, it's not correct. Dvitiya paksha eva ashraniha. Then what is the Dvitiya paksha? Nirvisheshanakaha. The blueness does not have any attributes. Evancha niladau apyevamangi kriyatamiti. So the thing is, then why do you say blue pot and you say blueness is the attribute of the pot? You can say just pot. Forget about the attributes. Attributes, don't accept attributes because it's nirdharmaka. Niladau api evam angikriyatamiti sarvam vastu visheshana shunyameva Iti nirvishesha vastu siddhihi. So all objects do not have any attributes because the idea of the attributes is not logically tenable. Because if you assume one attribute, to separate that attribute, you will assume another attribute. To separate that attribute, you will assume another attribute. This is an endless cycle which is not logically tenable. So accept all objects are without any attributes. Emam, just say ghata. And that it doesn't matter whether it is blue or not. It's ghata, it's a part, that's all. Evam ghatadavapi ghatatvadikam na atiriktam. So you cannot separate out ghatatva from ghata. Ghatatva means the potness. The potness is not separate from the pot. Pot and potness are identical. एवं घटादावपि घटत्वादिकं नातिरिक्तं सुदूरं गत्वापि भक्षितेऽपि लशुने न शान्तो व्याधिः इति न्यायेन निर्विशेषं वस्त्वङ्गीकर्तव्यं चेत् घटादिरेव निर्विशेषो अस्तु लाघवात्. Okay, so the thing is अन्यथा अनवस्था आपत्तेः. See, there is a nyaya, right? Bhakshtepi lashunena shanto vyadihi. So suppose somebody says, no, to solve a problem, I'll tell you, you are not well. If you are not well, you are a, see, this is about a, Vaidika, a person who follows Vedic injunctions, right? That Vaidika says, and I'm not feeling well at all. For so many days, I'm trying to use a different kind of herbs and stuff like that. It is not working. Then somebody says, the doctor says, why don't you eat garlic? Lashana means garlic. Why don't you eat garlic? They will all be clean and you will be very healthy. Suppose he eats garlic and then Nashanto Vyadi, suppose he does not, his disease does not get cured. What happens? He ate garlic, which is not Shastric according to him. He went out of Shastra, injunctions of Shastra. At the same time, he did not solve the problem. So, Niti Nyayena Nirvishesham was Twangi Kartavyam Chete. If you are accepting, what do you call, something which is attributeless, why don't you accept Ghata itself as Nirvishesha Vastu? Assume that Ghata does not have any attributes. It is Lagavad, it's simple. Because the very fact you start talking about attributes, you get into logical problems. Anyata anavasthapatehe. You will get anavastha. You will get this eternal cycle of accepting another attribute, another attribute, another attribute. There is no end to it. Evancha avinabhavasthale sahopalambaniyamad abheda eva nyayaha. So whenever something is together, abhinabhava, that is pot and blueness are together, pot and redness are together. So in those cases, just assume abheda. See, the abheda is important. You just say there's only one thing. There is no second thing. Think that the attributes are maya. Attributes are not necessary. It's non-existing. Only one thing exists. And so what is here? Advaita goes deeper and say potness is not there, so that clothness is not there. Cloth, so only cloth exists, but attributes don't exist. Pot exists, but potness is not there. So what exists is only one nirvishesha vastu, underlying Brahman. All the attributes are mithya, unreal, illusory. So our mind creates all these illusions of attributes like color, shape, and all those things. Well, the truth is nirvishesha, nirvikara vastu, that is Brahman. That is because of our ajnana, ignorance, avidya, we are superimposing multiplicity, attributes and everything to one Brahman who is attributeless, Nishkriya, Nishanta. So the Advaita people go in this direction. Is this logic understood about Advaita? Did you understand? It's important for us to understand the Advaita view here.
Yeah, yes, understood it.
And a little bit, just to a minor repetition, sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No. I mean, I would like you to just kind of summarize it again a little bit.
See, I'll summarize it. So, see, in Advaita, all attributes are illusory. So, there is a ghata. Ghata is a pot. And they say ghata, don't consider any attribute there because attributes are unreal. What is what is real is the object, and that object is nirvishesha, that means attributeless. So what we perceive as attributes are erroneous. That is why we have this multiplicity. We look at so many things, they have so many different things and all those things. In every vastu, there is something known as a sat. Sat is existence, not its attributes. Existence is the only real thing. Ghatam sat, that means pot exists. Patam sat, cloth exists. But what is common to all, everything is sat. So sanmatra vadis, that means there is only existence, that is Brahman. The other things are attributes superimposed by adhyasas, some kind of a error in our view. So that is why they say nirvikalpa samadhi. So the thing is, pratyakshamapi nirvikalpameva nirvishesha vastueva suchayati. Pratyaksha only denotes a nirvishesha vastu. Why? Pratamakshane. In the first instant, when you see an object, you don't see the attributes. You first see an object, you don't see the attributes. The second moment, your mind superimposes attributes to the objects according to Advaita. So all these are attacked later. These views are attacked later from the Vishishtadvaita perspective. What do you mean by nirvikalpaka pratyaksha? The first moment there are no attributes. If that is say that the object is perceived, but in the very first moment you don't know. A moment later you know this is a cow, this is a horse, this is all these things are superimpositions from the mind according to Advaita. So what they say is Visheshanas are unreal. Visheshya or the object is the real. Here the object, whether you talk it as a pata or a ghata, it doesn't matter. Because the attributes like potness or clothness are unreal, what exists is only sanmatra, which is Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta, Brahman. It is pure. It is knowledge only. It is consciousness only. Mukta, ever free, never bound. Chinmatra, Tattva. That is only consciousness. That is Brahman according to Advaita. Is that clear?
Yes, thank you. But also, like for the Buddhists, you explained why why are they so much after denying the dharma, and the same thing over here. I mean, dharmi. Why are they so bent on denying the
Good
dharma?
point. See, we understood in Buddhism they denied they denied dharmi because they don't want to have an idea of something is permanent. If something is permanent, you get attachment to it, and all the me, mama, and everything occurs. What Advaitins say is the dharmas cause the problem. The dharmas give bheda. Bheda means I am jiva, something is jada. So the thing is the difference, the concept of difference is causing all these problems. The concept of I, for example, I have a body, I have to protect the body because there's a difference. When there is no difference, there is peace, shanti. So Advaita views it in a slightly different way. When there is only one Vastu, there is nobody rich, nobody poor. It is pure Brahman only. So that is the real truth. See, I am yellow, I am green, I am white, I am black, I am brown, I am this one. We are actually putting somebody's dharma onto that dharmaless entity, which is Brahman. All because of this, I am rich, I am poor, I need this, I need that, because you are associating yourself with the objects which are untrue. What is true is Brahman only. The superimposition of Bheda is causing all the ups and downs of this life. Sarve Vyavaharaha, Adhyasa Bhashya, you should look at Adhyasa Bhashya of Shankaracharya. What he says is, Yushmad Ashmat, you say you and me. We are, this body is a you object. That means it is external to us. But you're thinking the body is you. This superimposition is happening naturally. So, Sarve Vyavaharaha, even the Vaidika Vyavahara or ordinary Vyavahara, all these things are because this Dehatma Brahma, you're assuming that this body is you. So for them, Bheda is a cause of all problems. Bheda Garbha, the universe of Bheda is going to cause so much of trouble to you. And Asya Shoka Moha Apanhanaya, this Shoka is sorrow, is because of Bheda. Moha is delusion because of illusion, because the truth is only one Brahman. There is no other thing which is true. When there is no one, there is nothing else, there is no fear. There is no, everything is free. There is no bondage. Or everything is illusion. So accepting Veda will cause total problems in the life. And all problems are only due to Veda, according to Advaita. Is this clear?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Evam cha avinabhavastale sahopanilambhaniyamad abheda evanyaya. Accepting that abheda is the only truth. That is, the attributes and the objects are same. Veda vyavaharastu rahosharaha itivat kalpana rupaha. Veda is like Rahu himself is the head. Rahosharaha is used. Rahu's head. Rahu itself is the head. So this is just like, it is superfluous to talk about Bheda or separation. Kalpana Rupa, it is imagination. Tadetat sangrahena uktam purvardhena. Dharma nirdharma kaschete. See, here again a new logic is starting. Let us do it tomorrow 6 a.m. just like this. So we'll take 1 hour 15 minutes tomorrow, because this goes into a very big argument, and we have to keep our mind very clear to get this argument clear in our heads. Okay, I'll stop here.
Okay.
Any questions till now? We can ask. If you have more questions on what we covered, we can complete it. We can answer.
One question. Jainism doesn't believe in a creator God.
No.
That is it.
No, they don't. They only believe in Jiva.
Then it
Jiva
cannot,
huh?
Jainism cannot be equated to Vishishtadvaita.
Oh, in that way. See, but the thing is, their generic theory of truth, that is the sevenfold logic of truth. By the way, we have to go through this Jainism tomorrow. Okay, what exactly is Jainism? Okay, I'll make a note here. So Jainism we will cover tomorrow as to what is this sevenfold logic. We'll give a simple explanation of Jain view of the Anekantavada. And so don't worry about whether Jiva Paramatma is accepted there in Vishtadvaita and Jain. That is not important. We will first of all their view of reality. If we understand that properly, whether it is different from Vishishtadvaita or whether it is same. So Vishishtadvaita and Jains are exactly same in their view of reality. Veda, Abheda, and Veda. That's what we need to understand first. Because if you accept one, the other is obvious. If you only accept Jivatma, well, if you become pure, Jivatma is now in bad shape. If you become pure, because of all the sadhanas in Jain, there's a lot of sadhana, like not eating, going hungry for days together, not having clothes, the Digambar, Jain and Ekambar Jain, whatever they have, right? So, what do you call there? If there is no difference between Jiva and Paramatma, what is the big deal about it? If you accept Paramatma or Jivatma, it doesn't make a difference. So that becomes less important. We first have to understand the philosophy. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
All right, then we'll stop the class today and we'll take up tomorrow morning 6 a.m. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste. Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Parama Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Sarva Gurubhyo Namaha. Shri Krishna Parabhram Namaha, Shri Lakshmi Sma Parabhram Namaha, Shri Lakshmi Hardana Parabhram Namaha.